Welcome to Dental Business RX. Practice success in 30 minutes or less.
Thank you for calling ABC Dental.
If we skip all the hype, because there's plenty of it surrounding AI, artificial intelligence, from it's going to take everyone's jobs to usher in the robot apocalypse, if we skip all of that, it's plain to see that AI is already making serious inroads into tons of businesses, including dentistry. And as it stands now, we're already seeing it rolled out to, among other things, assist diagnosis, to handle some front office functions, and marketing. And I want to focus on that last part, marketing. You know, if I were a betting man, and I am to a degree, I'd bet that you're doing some form of digital marketing, whether it's Google pay-per-click or Facebook, maybe something on Yelp, ZocDoc, etc. I mean, heck, I'm at least assuming you have a website. Well, how is and will AI search, sort of like Google search, affect your current marketing efforts? Case in point, my wife is an example. She's loves AI, right? But normally when I'm looking for a restaurant or a local business, I'm using Google. She doesn't. She uses ChatGPT. She uses Claude for work type projects, right? And more people are doing this. I don't know the exact numbers, but it is happening. And what about if I search for your practice? Or if I search on Google for your practice, you'll notice there's an AI summary at the beginning, and that's their AI platform, Gemini. What does Gemini say about your practice? I've seen cases, because a lot of practices have similar names, just like, a lot of bags look the same, where someone searches for their practice and it's some defunct bankrupt practice with horrible reviews. So this is happening. It's something that, whether you like it or not, it's something that's occurring. And I've always had the frame of mind that I like to sort of front run these things. If I see a trend happening, I want to be in front of the trend. My wife and I joke that we're normally too early for these things. Like I was talking about inflation. If you go back in the podcast to September of 21, I was talking about inflation. And nobody really cared at that point. They did care the next year, but it sort of fell on deaf ears. Not one of my better episodes from a statistics perspective. And in certain cases, it served me well. Like we had all of our streaming equipment in February of 2020, which, when things got shut down in April of 2020, that turned out to be beneficial. So I'm always a fan of that. If I see a trend coming, be prepared for the trend, because then when the trend finally happens, you're set. You're first in line, right? So that's what I want to talk about this week. What should you be doing right now in your office to make sure that you are properly set up for how AI search is going to affect your practice? Now, joining me this week, I have Dan Brown. If you've listened to the podcast for any length of time, you'll be familiar with Dan. Dan is the president of Bloomberg Digital. He's also a senior consultant and seminar speaker at MGE. They are a premier digital marketing agency. They handle a lot of larger practices, as well as smaller ones as well, but they work with practices to really, really, really gain control of their digital image and marketing to ensure that they're efficiently doing their marketing to get a ton of new patients, as well as put the best face forward to prospective public. So Dan, we have you all set up over there?
All good.
I keep asking that. I think I just do that on automatic now, even though I did the hookup, so I know you're hooked up.
It's acceptable.
All right. So anyway, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
All right. So we're talking about this. What are you doing with your clients? Like, how are you getting people? Well, first off, maybe kind of give them a little bit of an overview of like how AI search is working now.
Sure.
How pervasive it is. Is it really happening? And then then if you could follow up with that, what are you doing with your clients to make sure that these guys are set?
Perfect. So AI search is happening right now, I think, way more broadly than people realize. Mm-hmm. So many people are traditional Googleists. They're Googling everything, and we've learned how to do that pretty proficiently. So some people are not moving over to an AI search yet because they're uncomfortable with it. It's new. Sure. They don't know if they can trust it. It's convention. What are you familiar with and comfortable with? But Google is not Google as we all knew it 2 years ago. So today when you are Googling something, it is using Gemini.
Okay.
And so that little AI summary.
And that's the name of their AI platform.
That's right. Gemini is Google's AI platform. It's a good one. They're all good. I think they're all good. I mean, each has its own purpose and strength and weakness. But for the sake of the consumer, Gemini is really geared around taking that Google search and creating an overview. So let's take the consumer 2 years ago. You do your search, then you got the 10 blue links beneath your search.
And that would be like the sponsored ads, and then I get the actual
organic ads, and then you can go to page 2 and 3, and now you just scroll down. But that is the research the consumer is doing. Some consumers are very thorough, and they'll dig in, and then they'll search within the page on the page result that they got from their Google search. They'll go to the Google search, results page that came up, and they'll search within that, using page find and stuff. And some people are just like,
It just sounds exhausting.
it is exhausting. But there are different, levels of how deep are you going to go in, and then how specific is your search going to be in. And so Google's been studying that, and their sole purpose is to make the browsing experience really easy and successful for the browser, for the consumer. So when you see the little AI summary at the top, that's a sampling of what I think we're going to see as the new Google in about a year from now.
Okay.
We're not going to see the 10 results.
Really?
No. That is not long for this world.
So do you think that's going to affect like organic SEO to a degree, or?
It is, as a marketing company looks at it, certainly for a dental practice that's paying for SEO, you definitely need to hear what you and I are going to cover on this episode.
Okay.
For the consumer, it's just going to make things easier.
Got it.
Because what AI is doing now is all that deep research for the consumer, so they don't need to go digging and digging and digging.
Got it. I don't need to go to page 3, 4, 5 to figure out what's going on.
Exactly. And now, so when you do a search, if you go to the upper left-hand side, you can do a search and then it gives all, and then you got images and video and
News.
forums and news. But to the left of that is AI mode. And you click on that, and it'll give you an overview of, let's say, a practice, ABC Family Dentistry. It'll give you an overview of that. And then at the bottom, it'll say, what do you want to know specifically?
I see.
Oh, I'd like to know if they offer dental implants. Yes, they do. No. Here's what we find. Here's some reviews that say that. They have social media posts. They have a number of YouTube videos about this. Here's some of the content. What specifically do you want to know about dental implants? Well, how painless is their procedure? Oh, well, in searching their reviews, 17 people have said that this was, surprisingly painless in comparison to what they expected, blah, blah, blah. It's awesome
Okay.
for the consumer. It is not awesome for the business if they're not preparing for that.
Interesting. So that's Gemini.
That's Gemini.
A lot of people use ChatGPT, OpenAI. So if I go into OpenAI, and now, because there's two aspects of this, I'm
Yes.
searching for a business name, I don't know, ABC Dental, and let's say it's the name of someone's practice.
Yep.
Is it going to also give me some form of a summary?
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah, and I think listen, to be honest, ChatGPT, Google has, I don't know how many years of compiled information. So these AI engines are going to Google to get that data, as well as other sources.
Okay.
Google's going to other sources as well. And these are sources that maybe consumers wouldn't necessarily have gone to originally. So I'll give it a good example of one that a lot of our clients have ignored for a long time because they don't like the platform. That's Yelp. They just don't like it. I'm
Well-founded. I don't
well-founded. Yeah. As a consumer, I use Yelp.
Okay.
I'll go to I'll drop into Texas or whatever, and I'll look for a good Tex-Mex place, and Yelp's going to help me with that.
I see.
As a business owner and as a co-owner of a marketing firm for dentists, Yelp is not your friend as a business owner. Largely due to the fact that Yelp has this kind of interesting algorithm.
Right, where they won't let you post certain reviews, and yeah.
That's right. They're not going to allow a review from a first-time Yelper, and sometimes a third time, and we've even seen it sometimes a 15-time reviewer. They somehow see a connection to the business that is suspicious to them, so they don't put that review into the overall criterion and hide that away on a page.
Unless I pay them to advertise. Yeah, that's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah. So fortunately, Bloomberg Digital has an amazing relationship, very high up in Yelp, because I made about 15 videos about Yelp, and a very senior official reached out and said, we want to make peace and give us your clients, and we're going to help your clients.
Okay.
So that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And but just the platform itself has been largely neglected by a lot of our clients who are not in metropolitan areas. If you're in a metropolitan area, hopefully you've had your fingers on the pulse of
Well, it seems like it get mildly exhausting in a sense.
Yeah.
And I've used that word twice now, but so you got to track your Google reviews.
Yes.
Then I can't not pay attention to my Facebook book
Right.
reviews because I know I think Yahoo pulls Facebook reviews, and I have to pay attention now to my Yelp reviews.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just in the new world.
It is the new world, and yeah. So, like I was saying, metropolitan area, you got to before AI, you had to be on top of it. If you're in the Bay Area in California or L.A. or tri-state, yeah. So those are Yelp-driven traffic from consumers for dentistry. That's been a thing. Today, if you're in the cornfields of Iowa or whatever. I don't know if they have cornfields in Iowa. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're in a suburban area, Yelp wouldn't have been a thing. But today, AI will go to Yelp.
I see.
And Yelp reviewers, as many of us have painfully learned, are a bit more vocal, especially when things go wrong.
So then, in theory, if I'm searching Google, I'm in a rural area, and I have 2 really terrible reviews on Yelp, but I have a bunch of good reviews on Google. It'll pull up my Google reviews, like it's very well reviewed, but there are some patients who say these negative things.
That's correct.
Oh, lovely.
That's
okay.
correct. Yeah. So all of this interesting, and you even said it before we sat down. You asked a very intelligent question: how much of what we have to do is new, or how much of this is reinforcing what's been the rules and laws of marketing up to now? And truly, all of this is really reinforcing all of the things that we've been saying, at least for years, which is, keep an eye on your reviews, answer your negative reviews, have original content, do not use, back in the start of AI, do not use AI-driven content, AI-created content. Do not use general copywriters for your content, because a copywriter for a dental marketing company is only going to be able to alter how they write about something 15 or 20 times maybe, if they're really, really good, before they're really saying the same thing over and over and over.
I see.
So all of those things have impacted search engine optimization, SEO, for years. Now with AI, it's so fast and it's so accurate that if you aren't on the shtick, you're not really putting in the basics. It really blows your practice, in this case, your business, your practice, into light in the wrong way potentially, or will not allow you to be discovered.
Okay, so would it be an accurate statement if, let's say, back in the day, a year ago, 2 years ago, before the advent of this, is I was depending on the individual consumer to collate information about my practice. So if I was on Google and they were primarily using Google, which most people did for search, as long as I'm well represented there, I'm okay. They may or may not look at Yelp. They're probably not using Yahoo. I don't know anybody who does. And you're forced to use Bing at times on Microsoft products because I don't really use it either. But if I'm using Google and you're represented well there, I'm probably going to choose you. Whereas now, because you have an AI platform collating all this information, looking everywhere, these things that I've been ignoring before, that you've been yelling from the rooftops for everybody to do for years, are going to come back to bite me. Is that an accurate statement?
That's accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we take a look to one other question, then I want to ask you what these specific things are. But so we talked about how if I look for my practice, or someone looks for my practice, ABC Dental, it'll say who ABC Dental is, blah, blah. How is this AI search going to affect dentists near me? Common search term. That's an expensive click, I assume, right?
Sure.
Okay, how's it going to affect that?
So I would say vastly, because what it's doing, and this is a change that just happened, is now Gemini and AI engines are not just searching your reviews and reading your reviews and your negative reviews, not just searching your website, not just searching other areas, but it's also now channeling into your social media channels.
Okay.
Reading the social media channel. It's going through your YouTube channel. It's going through the transcriptions of your YouTube channel. It's looking at the comments of it. It's looking at the feedback in your social media channels. It's aggregating what is the general view of this practice from a consumer perspective.
Wow.
So there's what does the business say about itself on its website and such? What do others say about this? And then what's generally available in the area?
But is it going to be somewhat neutral in the sense of, let's say I'm at a certain address and I go dentist near me, and let's say there's 6 in a 5-mile radius. Is it going to pick those 6 and just give me data, or is it going to pick one over the others?
So I'd like to say that it's going to be fair, but it's determining that based off of volume of data and amount of data about what's available there.
Okay.
So if there's a practice that isn't well represented, it's not going to acknowledge that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's going to want to pick the practice. The practice has 1,100 reviews and this and that, and a bunch of YouTube content, a lot of video content on what is a root canal, what's an implant, what is this, what is that. That's the one that's going to be number one.
I want to say this though, because right there, what you and I just said, that is true. That's what's being done, but what we just said could put a lot of people into apathy. Like I'm so behind. I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't have an active
You
social
got to
media
start
channel.
somewhere. I remember when we started ours, we started with a video with Greg, Dr. Winterrag. You know, we had, and our background looked like a CNN or news, 24-hour news station. We went, this looks terrible, so we switched it, and yeah.
Which has thousands and thousands of views now.
Oh, yeah.
And so you did what you should have done, and what everybody today should be doing. You know, it's been said the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago.
That's true.
Second best time is today.
Yeah.
So you start with what you got. Unfortunately, everybody listening to this, provided it's still 2026, 2027.
Yeah, they have time.
They have time because everybody's in the same boat. There might be a few outliers.
And there's nothing stopping, let's say it's 5 years from now, because also we don't know exactly what's coming down with this.
Yeah.
Well, you have a pretty darn good bead, right?
Yeah.
But you never know what wrinkles could be thrown out.
Correct.
But there's nothing stopping somebody from just really putting their nose to the grindstone even 5 years from now and just getting a lot of content put together and spending time on it, and then all of a sudden they rank.
100%.
Yeah.
And there are exact, specific, strategic things to do. So if you're going to make hay while the sun shines, which is what you can do right now, you can
Right.
focus your attention not on trying to do everything, but certain things. That actually has far better traction than just trying to do everything and doing it incompletely.
So let's break those down.
Yeah.
So what would people listening say they're doing maybe some Google pay-per-click, they have a website, you know, maybe they have a properly set up website, because that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But not a lot of other stuff. Maybe they have a Facebook post once in a week, or
Yeah.
whatever, or once a week, maybe a TikTok. What would you tell that person to do right now?
So I'm going to say it generally, and then I'm going to tell you specifically.
Fine.
So generally, and this I say this because it's the easiest way to remember and think with this. So
Okay.
picture the patient journey, and we've studied the patient journey. We've studied it. Google studied it. This is how they've amalgamated their approach in AI and Gemini, what they're doing now. So the patient journey is this. Patient journey types in a search phrase. And from a business perspective, good. Well, what do you want to be found for? Well, dentist near me, emergency dentist, you know, dental implants, dental veneers. You know, that list is different for each different dentist, right?
Sure.
But broadly, we know that some of the main ones are the same. Then they find you. That's search engine optimization. And where do you rank organically? Of course, you can rank at the top through a paid ad.
Sure.
And so Google Ads is very smart way to do it. But organically, you know, still about 7 out of 10 people are going to skip all the sponsored ads and go look for an organic result.
So you want to show up on page
you
one,
want to show up on page one. Then they're going to look at your Google Business Profile. And when
which
they,
most people know as maps.
yeah,
Right, I think. Yeah, they look and they see you see the map and you see the reviews.
yeah, and you see your very specific name, your profile. It has your website as a link, your general information, office hours. It has your review number and your star rating, your ranking.
And also, if you put posts up too, it'll show there too, like photos and stuff, right?
Yeah, your photos, you got to click on the photos to see additional photos. And stuff.
Okay.
But that's a big deal because now AI is actually scanning and reading those photos and making data about that. It's certainly reading all the reviews. It's reading, are you answering negative reviews? How do you do so? So they have to follow your 3 videos that you laid out on how to answer.
Somewhere on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're handling negative reviews properly. Are you responding to positive reviews? You know, are you at least getting back to these people, thanking them, appreciating them, or are you leaving that blank, which is not good? And then where do you stand in regards to other practices? So this is what a consumer would do. Would go look at the photos, would go look at the reviews, read the reviews, maybe look at the negative reviews. Have they been answered? Is it an acceptable answer? Like, nobody's perfect.
I also always look at, was it a recent negative review or was it from 3 years ago?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So then the consumer we'll do one of a few things, but generally we'll go visit the website, see if what they're looking for is answered easily and found easily there. And then almost always we'll go to the social channels.
Okay.
Because what that's doing is that's telling the consumer who these people really are. Got it that that's what your marketing company put together. Got it that that's what you were told to do. Now let's see what this team is like. Is the dentist scary? Are the team members condescending and arrogant? Is this really stiff and scary? Or is it a little bit more culture friendly? And that like, I didn't ever think that was a big deal. Like, I don't know that I would have thought to do that as a consumer, but consumers are doing that heavily.
All right, so then I'm Googling Google business page, then I'm going to the website.
Website,
And then social media.
and YouTube channel.
Got it.
Especially if it's like a larger case. Like if I'm confronting, 4 to 6 veneers, that's thousands of dollars.
Or an all-on-X case.
All on X case, it's tens of thousands of dollars. So the bigger the treatment plan or the more poor experiences that individual has experienced, the more detail they get, and we've had our clients, because we watch this journey and we can see that journey, and we know that these patients that come in have spent 3 to 5 hours
Wow.
on our clients' social media pages, YouTube.
These are for like the
website.
bigger cases.
The bigger cases, yeah. But all that is a real exaggeration of what the common consumer does to whatever degree based off their concern. And so that is the general patient journey in finding, that's the marketing side, and then choosing, that's the public relations side of practice. So what AI is doing is mirroring all that.
I see.
And making that data real easy for somebody to go through who might not know how to do all those things. So literally aggregating all that data and creating summaries and then asking, hey, well, what else do you want to know more about? And here's the link to it. Oh, you want to know about this? Specifically, what's the difference between Invisalign and traditional orthodontics? It's interesting. This practice talks about that. Would you like to see the video? Click, there's a video. Pretty phenomenal for the consumer. Not so phenomenal if you don't have that content.
Got it. So then, okay, so let's say that's the patient journey. So what do I have to do?
So what you got to do right now, and this is what we tell our clients to do. We have a marketing platform that we give direction to our clients to, of course, have a website that ranks well from an SEO perspective.
Okay.
And then to populate it with content which is categorized. I'm not going to get into the technical specifics, but you have to do certain things to have proper strength and reputation with Google, so Google recommends you. But those things, again, parallel the patient journey, and some of those things, and the easiest things you could do is, what are the top 3 services you want more of? And often our clients will say, well, I want cosmetic cases or implants
Or Invisalign or something.
or I just want good restorative cases or large cases or smile makeovers or whatever. You can make a list of 3, 5, 10, doesn't matter.
Sure.
Good. Now take each of those categories and think of what are the 5 most commonly asked questions of each of those things.
Okay.
So veneers. Good. What do people ask, or what should they ask if they're not asking?
Would they look like my real teeth?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we adjust the color? How do I make
Right.
it so it doesn't stand out? Or, I chew, like, what are the 5 things you should know about dental veneers before you choose them? Like if you're an ice chewer, if you're whatever.
No one should be an ice chewer.
Nobody
but
should be.
yeah,
But,
okay.
these are things you and I know because we're in this industry for years now. Of course, everybody in the dental professional know that. But the consumers, you got to think like a consumer. And
Sure.
what are the questions, even if they're relatively stupid or non-comprehensible? Like, why would you ask that question? We have these all listed out because we've reverse engineered.
You have for every single service.
Every single
Even down
service.
to root canals.
The most searched questions, and some of the most searched questions on Google regarding dentistry are really, really stupid questions,
Okay.
but high ranking.
I see.
You got to have the answer. You have to have the answer, doctor. You, doctor, specifically need to have that answer and you got to do so in a non-condescending, non-arrogant,
Right.
friendly kind of fun,
So how do you use this? So you've got this list of questions that patients ask about implants, let's say.
Yeah.
So what do you do with that?
So take that list of questions, get your phone set up, plug in a little Bluetooth mic, read the question, look up from the paper, look into the phone while you're on record. So, a lot of our patients or a lot of patients ask, what's the difference between traditional orthodontics, what you might know as braces, and Invisalign or clear aligner therapy or invisible braces, however you want. I'm going to talk about those things. So, and riff, just go on an
So
absolute.
they look at the question, how long does a case take to do? And then they answer, well, many cases can take blah, 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 rack, rack, rack.
And you are repeating the question that is commonly asked of you. Now, for us on our marketing platform, we have that question.
Got it.
Exactly as Google.
So the doc would repeat. So I've got my camera out. I got my Bluetooth mic so that the audio is good. Okay, because first question we get asked is, how long does a clear aligner case take?
Boom, right there.
And then you go, well, it can depend on the case and how crooked your teeth are, how misplaced they are, and use accessible language, of course.
Accessible language, but so many people try to go kind of cut it up on this. They try to be slim and narrow and say it in the fewest words. No, 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 no. Be verbose, be explanatory. Don't be overly verbose.
Sure.
But be thick in the answer.
How long should the video be?
I'd say average, what our clients do, because we do these in little segments, about 5 to 8 minute video.
All right, so I do this 5 to 8 minute video. I know in your guys' case you edit the video for the
Yeah.
client, but let's say I would definitely recommend you talk to Dan, but that's beside the point.
Even if they don't, like at this point, get it there. Even if it's just
Well, simple editing, at least
Yeah.
cut out if you make
Yeah.
flub.
Ers and
yeah.
ahs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I've done my video. I've got my video on clear aligners versus traditional orthodontics. What do you want me to do with that video now?
so that video now gets uploaded to YouTube
Okay.
because we know who owns YouTube.
Okay. Right, Google does. So I have to have my own YouTube channel, which is
YouTube
very
channel.
easy to get.
Free.
Yeah.
If you don't know how
Part
to
of
do
your
it,
Gmail account.
if you don't know how to create a YouTube channel, just YouTube it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Chat GPT it or whatever.
Sure.
Very fast. You can have that set up in minutes. Upload the video. Costs nothing to host it. You could, I mean,
Yeah.
how many videos does MG have on it now?
Well, I mean, public videos for like video tips and whatnot, probably 400, 500. Plus we have shorts, and then there's, unlisted videos we have for seminar. I mean, there's probably 1,000 videos on our YouTube channel. It's cost us nothing.
0. So now it's there. Now we're going to take that video and we're going to create basically a link. We're going to have it on our website, but it's hosted not on our website, not on our website server. It's actually on YouTube.
So then would I create a separate page then for clear aligners?
Yes, exactly. And then what we do is we take the doctor's answers and we transcribe that and then we code it into the website.
So then it's actually clear aligners. Here's some brief answers on it, and watch this video for more information. That's cool.
We literally take not word for word. We take out the ers and the ums.
Sure.
But and we often say hide transcript, but we put the whole transcript on there for search engine optimization purposes.
Well, that's cool, because then what it does, number one, creates content that's not AI generated.
That's right.
And then two, this is coming out of a doctor's mouth, so it's going to have more authority. Because I know that a lot of the AI platforms were getting after this, getting leery about recommending medical type stuff that wasn't based on authoritative answers. So this is coming from Dr. So-and-so DDS.
Yeah.
So then that's now a page on their website.
That's right.
Okay.
And then, with all the usual components with, some before and afters and calls to action and stuff. But today's consumer, and Jeff, this is where things are going. I think in a year from now, it's going to be vastly different. I think in 2 years from now, I don't think people will be visiting websites.
Really?
No. You're going to have one, but I don't think people will be visiting them.
They'll just use AI search.
AI is going to bring it all up.
Interesting.
And I think that's going to be happening faster than 2 years from now.
Okay, so then, if I look at this, right, I've got my SEO cleaned up. Maybe I'm doing some Google pay-per-click, and I'm doing it intelligently.
Yeah.
I've got my video content, which turns into written content on my website. Now, am I using that video also for my social media platforms too?
100%. So this is an interesting one of our clients. Was getting a lot of questions on, or actually getting a lot of patients coming in saying, actually, I'm not going to go forward with treatment because I just found out instead of your dental implants, I could go down here and get these. There were mini implants, but it was cleverly disguised a different name, not mini implants. It was like something like, I don't know, it was very clever. Whoever was doing that was not saying mini implants.
But they were mini implants.
But they were mini implants.
Okay, yeah.
So we heard about this and So I asked the doctor, well, let's do a video. And I want you to just really go at it. And he did for 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't aggressive or antagonistic about it. He was just informative, as he does with his patients. I said, good. So you're going to give that to the patient when they go home. Give them the link to that video, so they can share it with their wife and anybody that uncle says I should do it. So that video has become his most popular video.
Really?
On YouTube. Obviously, a lot of people are searching that. When they search that, because we've taken that video and put it on his website and put the transcript there, his site is ranking well for that. This is people searching from all over the United States.
Oh, wow.
Can get that answer on this doctor's site. Obviously, anybody locally, but that helps both. Any national exposure like that definitely helps local. Then we took that video and chopped it up into little segments.
Like shorts.
Shorts. And we did shorts. And we run the shorts on social media.
So like YouTube, TikTok,
Yeah,
Instagram.
nothing sponsored. Nothing sponsored.
Okay.
Yeah, just and what we find is that when somebody is going there, like you just said it earlier, when the doctor is answering these questions, the authority factor and the originality factor, these are huge with Google. They always have been, and even more so today. And you said it very interestingly, medical. Yeah, there's 3 categories. It's medical, science, and art. So those 3 areas, Google doesn't want anything AI generated, because you could spin up a website right now as the top implant physician for St. Petersburg, Florida, and Dr. Jeff Bloomberg.
Even though I'm not a dentist, that'd be rough.
But I'm telling you, the content would look amazing. It would spin up testimonials.
I see.
It would pull in fake Google reviews. I mean, it's unbelievable. So Google wants to protect the consumer.
Yeah, because I think there's been health advice issues. I know that early on, I think it was somebody who was looking for a pizza recipe, and somebody on Reddit years back had posted a pizza recipe that included Elmer's glue.
Oh.
So then ChatGPT offered it up, like, here's how you make pizza, like, get your Elmer's glue. So that was one of the things. So the idea, I know that they got really harsh on that one particular point, like they can't offer medical advice unless it's coming from an authority, the Mayo Clinic or Dr. So-and-so. So,
Yes.
yeah, that was just funny.
So now Google knows, because it's a video from Dr. Jones from ABC Family Dentistry. It's brought into your website. Everybody in the AI world, whether it's Chat or Gemini or whatever, now has the ability to see that's from an actual individual who's a true authority, and then it's original content.
Interesting.
I could give those same 5 questions to 5 different doctors, and all of their answers
It'll come
would
out
be
slightly different.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
So it's original content. It's not copywritten, and it's the easiest way to write a website these days.
That's true. And once you have your first video, before you know, you got 10 videos,
That's
you got
right.
20 videos,
That's
then all of a sudden you got 50. If you do one a month, you have 12. You have 36 after 3 years. I would say do more often, especially in the beginning. But
That's right.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we code the website to really understand and read the transcript, so that when the search is done, people go to that page,
Interesting.
not to the YouTube channel.
Okay.
And then when they go to that page, what do you think the individual is going to do? Read the content or watch the video?
Probably watch the video.
They'll watch the video, and then they get the answer to their question, but then they get to meet the doctor.
True.
And they go, oh, this person's pretty kind, pretty nice. That was good. I didn't know that before. I kind of like this doctor.
Well, also, if you can cut it into shorts, I'm watching it on TikTok, Instagram. It's then
right.
driving me back to the website or to YouTube or somewhere else.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So all of that is the patient journey, what you should have been doing up to now, but if you're not doing, get started doing it, because all AI is doing is making that patient journey easier.
Yeah, they're a more
Accessible.
efficient searcher.
That's it.
Essentially.
That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
That's actually good. Now, one question for you though. So we just started doing this. I know you're doing it with some clients because it's new.
Yep.
ChatGPT search or paid ads.
Yep.
Because I've kind of wondered about this. So Gemini, and I have to wonder about this. Gemini is representing different businesses, blah, blah, blah. I have to wonder that if I have if I've done my stuff I'm supposed to do organically, but I'm also paying for Google ads, if I'm going to get any favorable treatment in Gemini when they recommend a practice. I'm sure they would never come out and say that, but I'd have to wonder it.
I think we all do.
And same thing with ChatGPT, though.
Right. So that's why we've just launched a service called a multi-channel approach. So it's not just Google Ads, it's Meta, which is of course
Facebook and
Instagram, and ChatGPT. It's everything. It's everything, and we test all of these things. But my suggestion, just like Yelp, the rumor, like, well, if I'm paying Yelp, I might have a better exposure. But what does it cost to pay Yelp? A couple $100.
Right, and actually it would be useful in that sense, especially if Yelp materially affects your business. I would be paying Yelp.
Yeah, well, paying Yelp a few hundred bucks a month also keeps their other recommended practices off your Yelp
Yeah,
page.
I'm being advertised on Yelp. Why would I not want to do that? If people use Yelp, I would pay Yelp.
That's right.
Yeah, why would I not do that?
That's right. So, of course, you need to have, some profit and some margin
Sure.
in order to advertise, and we've talked about that. But if they follow your direction on getting out of network, well, now all of a sudden they've got their marketing budget,
Right.
and they should be doing all of this and then testing it. That's what we're doing. We're testing what sort of traction. We're not seeing a whole bunch of results from patients running in the door from OpenAI and ChatGPT, but better to be there than not be there.
Right.
And in these early days, just like if we remember back in the early days of both Google and Facebook, it was a fun run. It was easy.
Oh, Facebook advertising in the beginning, I loved it.
It was
It
amazing,
was so
right?
easy. Yeah, then they made it more complex to weed out all the noobs like me.
Right.
So then my marketing director took it over. Remember, we did this in 13, and then he comes and shows me the dashboard in 22.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what the heck was going on. It was so easy in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah. So Wild West with these platforms, get there somehow, some way, advertise there. I absolutely say. And then one other thing that we must think with is that Apple. So if you have an iPhone and you use the navigation app native to Apple, which is Apple Maps.
I hate Apple Maps.
I also don't use it. I use Google Maps,
Yeah,
but
me
I've downloaded it. But a lot of people just keep Apple Maps. It's actually nice. It's all integrated. If you use CarPlay, it's nicer.
I use CarPlay. I don't use Apple Maps, though. I use Google Maps through CarPlay.
Yeah, but Apple Maps in CarPlay is a little bit nicer environment, I think, for some people. Whatever.
Sure.
To each their own. But if you put in ABC Family Dentistry when you get in that car using Apple Maps, it doesn't show the Google reviews.
Really?
No, it's been showing a review platform, but not Google, because Google's a competitor.
What review platform?
Yelp.
Okay.
I've had clients say a patient just got in the car to arrive to come for a big treatment, and they put in, our practice name, and then Yelp reviews came up, and we haven't been doing anything on our Yelp. So the patient called in and canceled because they all of a sudden started reading the Yelp reviews. They had never thought to think of checking and going there. But that's now just changed a couple months ago because Apple has announced that they're doing their own Apple business profile.
So we're not using Yelp anymore. So Apple has its own bill. Okay.
Yeah, so
another
go
thing to
claim
worry
your
about.
business on Apple right now. And they've also announced that they'll be launching Apple Ads.
Okay, so we got ChatGPT ads, Apple ads, Google ads, Facebook ads.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say I'm the average person listening right now, right?
Yeah.
And I think, I really don't want to deal with all this, but I should know about it. How do I get in contact with you?
Yeah.
I put your link on the episode
Yeah,
webpage,
and I think
but
I think really whether it's with us or somebody else, the best thing you could do if
I'll be a bit of a root for the home team here. I'm gonna say you guys only because I've watched what you've done with people, and it's very thorough,
Yeah.
and it's very exacting, and you're a bit of a stern taskmaster in that sense that you guys don't miss anything.
Yeah.
You don't misrepresent anything.
Right. Well, all of this is like you just said, better to know about it than not know about it. And it could seem overwhelming and confusing. All these different things I should be doing.
Right.
Where do I start? And that's what we do. Is we generally do a sit down analysis where we look at your profile, we look at your area, we look at your competition and competitive offerings, and we look at where you're at and where you're not, and then make sure that we understand what your needs and that includes what services you want more of and stuff, because you can choose your battles in this one. And so like dental implants, a very competitive term, very expensive term to advertise for, and maybe of course the person would like that, but they really like this service over here, which is far less expensive to advertise for.
And it gets people in the door.
That's right. So and you get people in the door, you get people in the chair. Now you can talk to them about all the other services you have. So we sit and look at a practice holistically, and a person should get that done, because if you just say, well, I need to do everything, and you're doing little to nothing right now, you're going to disperse yourself. You're going to be
Right.
confused and really spread too thin to really understand what's happening on each of these marketing channels. Many of the clients that come to MGE come here knowing, well, I should definitely have a website. And that's about it.
Got it.
Then we move them into their first marketing channel outside of course, internal. What's their first external channel? We help them figure that out.
Right.
We get them some wins on that, and then we add another channel, and then add another channel. Some people come, and they've got 7 operational channels going, and they're really keyed in marketing. They're really like, they understand stuff, but that's really rare.
Right. Well, it makes sense. You're not a marketing expert. You're a dentist.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, this was awesome. Thank you for being here on this. I mean, it kind of, if I'm the average person out there, because I think the AI message has been so dispersed and so scary and so weird in certain respects, or AI is doing this or that and people don't know. This makes sense. And
Yeah,
I'm glad you explained it real well so that people can get an idea of what they should be doing right now.
And I will say this, and we said it in our last episode, but if any of the dentists out there who own a private practice see something being advertised, AI can do all your marketing, touchless, you don't do a thing, it handles everything, absolutely run.
Yeah, have fun
Do
with that
not
one. That's
walk.
not going to work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that we are not. I'll be the first to be there.
Yeah.
I'm anxious for that day where I don't need a team, and the team is just doing the client interfacing, and AI is doing everything. We are so far from being there right now. I hope to be there, but we're so anybody professing to be there, they're really dangerously positioning a practice, because AI will absolutely promote your practice and
Right.
tell people that you do things you don't do.
Yes.
And promise things that you shouldn't promise, and talk about how painless your dentistry is. So yeah, it's scary. We've seen it happen a couple times. So I just thought about that, and I just want to
Fair.
give that. You know.
Fair. Again, Dan, thanks so much for being here. Folks, that's all we have for you this week. If you'd like to know more about or reach Dan, I want to put his email address on the episode webpage, but it's Dan at Bloomberg Digital. You can also check out bloombergdigital.com. Sorry, you can also check out the website. Otherwise, if you have any questions about MGE, you can find us online at mgeonline.com or call us at 800-640-1140. Folks, have a great week, and we'll see you at the next episode.